Hello, this is Mrs. Brunner Wallen, Assistant Principal at Lakeshore Middle School. I'd like to take a second and talk about how you can best organize yourself and your family during our days we have to stay at home because of our orange declaration from New York State. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. We recognize that many families may only have one device in the home. We recognize that sometimes your internet is spotty. We recognize that sometimes you only have a phone in which to take your class on. All of those things are okay. You just need to communicate to your teachers how you plan on doing school during our time when we can't be together. I encourage you to sit down this weekend and plan out your days at home. I've included some graphic organizers that you might find handy in order to organize your days. Let's take a look at a few. In this graphic organizer, you'll see that I've broken down the week. And because students' schedules on Mondays are different than Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, let's take a second to talk about Mondays. For our teachers at school, Mondays are really a check-in day. For students who know they might not be able to attend a class on Tuesday through Friday for whatever reason, maybe technology shortages or internet issues, checking in with your teachers on Monday is key. Teachers will be using that time to plan, to post videos, to check in with students who are at work, but it also is your opportunity to check in with us and to make sure that you know what you need for the rest of the week. On Tuesdays through Fridays, teachers will be teaching a regular schedule. This regular schedule has been sent home to you. I know at the middle school, our students were completing the schedule with their teachers in class. I also know that it is available on our website if you need it. I suggest, as a family, having each student fill in this chart so that you know what classes your child is supposed to be in and when. It also will be helpful when you need to plan and organize your time. So, after you've completed the schedule, something you might want to do is a document like this. This is a must-do, should-do document. In this document, you're going to write down what work you have to do for the week. Jot it down, figure out what is the stuff you're going to have to do first, what is the stuff that you know you're not going to need any help with, what is the stuff that you're going to need the most help with. This will be key in identifying which courses are most important for you to attend, especially if you have a limited amount of devices and more children than you have devices in the home. That happens. Also, in here would be an important document to help figure out who to contact and when. I've included these documents as PDFs so you can print them. You could also upload them into Google Docs and type on them and do what you need on Google Docs as well. So let's take a look at an imaginary family with 3 children. Recognizing that families may have to share 1 or 2 devices, we recognize this means you might have to miss a class or 2 so your sibling can log in and attend their classes. Use the time when you sit together this weekend to plan what it will look like. You might have to make sacrifices. You might only be able to attend art once this week because someone else needs the computer to go to math class. That's okay. If you plan ahead, you'll be able to email your teachers and let them know and get your work done the way you need to. Let's take a look at this schedule. So, based on the Tuesday schedule that is available on the internet, on our school website, in our COVID information plans, and your child may have already brought home a copy, this is what their day would look like at school or at home. You'll notice that they all have Google Meets that they're supposed to attend pretty much throughout the day. Some have breaks for lunch, others might not have a break depending on how it's written, and especially at the high school level, and they'll have to plan their time differently than maybe Hank at the elementary school. Clearly, if you have 1 device and a phone, all 3 students will not be able to attend all of their classes. I suggest creating a plan for what that looks like. Here is what I might do if these were my 3 children. So we sat down, we took a look at which Google Classrooms were most important to attend. So between 8:30 and 9:30, Bobby will be using the computer because Bobby needs to go to ELA class because he just finished reading and he has to do some important work in order to be prepared for a project. Bobby will attend class. He's going to tell his teacher in the chat box, I have to leave a little early because my sister has to go to French class. Sue will log in for French class, and while Sue is taking French class, Hank is in a different room and he's on his phone talking to the English teacher for his English class. So Hank will be able to connect, be able to hear the teacher and have those conversations, but maybe not be able to see, okay? But you can connect through a landline to a Google Classroom. Then we move to 9:30 to 10:30. So Bobby is going to miss home and careers. Bobby's going to email the home and careers teacher, let the home and careers teacher know that he won't be able to go to class. Sue is going to go to the rest of the French class, and then Sue's going to go to biology. Hank is unfortunately going to have to miss math class, but Hank was smart. We already emailed the teacher, let her know why we weren't going to be in class, and have a bunch of handouts they can work on while they're not in class that they can meet with the teacher tomorrow morning to figure out. Between 11 and 12, Bobby had to miss health class. Bobby already contacted the health teacher and let them know. Sue is going to have to miss her ELA class. She could log in, but Bobby really needs it for math. So Sue might have to miss her ELA class in Google Meet form, but will be able to do it by phone. And Hank is going to have to miss his music class unless he logs in for a little bit and then leaves early because Bobby really needs to go to math class because there's an online test coming up. So that might be the day. Everybody might get a quick snack in there since we know we can't attend that class, get in a quick PE activity, and then go back to our day about 11:30. At 11:30, Bobby will take some time and go to math class, and Sue is going to have to email her math teacher and let her know, I'm not going to make math today, and explain why. Hank then will log in for science class, and then later will stay for his skills class, and Bobby will call in and talk to his science teacher who will help him with his science project that he has due. Chorus, there was already a plan, the student already was aware of it, and then at the very end of the day, because there's a social studies project due, the student worked on it in the afternoon and then was able to turn it in, or able to talk to the teacher before 3 o'clock in order to turn it in. This is what it might look like if you have one computer in your house and 3 children. We recognize that it is not ideal, but you have to do with what you have, and this is the best way to make use of that. Again, remember, you can attend a Google Meet by phone, you can attend a Google Meet by iPad, you can attend a Google Meet by tablet or by computer. We know this is tough, but it's important to plan because a good plan is all the difference. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. Good luck. Please call your schools if you have any questions or need any help.